Hi everyone, how you doing? Nice sunny day today in Amsterdam. Hope your cycling development is treating you well. And we thought we'd just take a couple of minutes to talk a little bit about something on stage one of the cycling development, which is the accredited product training. Can always cause a bit of debate when you start dealing with products, because of course the question is what is the best product to sell? Having dealt with 13, 14, 15 different products over my time in this industry, I still have no answer to that. And I guess the most exciting product is the one that you're working in today. That's what you've got in your folder, that's what you're talking to a customer about. So, I think it's important to look at it that way. The question being is, does the best product in the world help someone in sales? Well, of course, we all want to work with a good product. Personally, my rule is I must be comfortable selling it to a member of my own family. Whether it's me or not may be irrelevant, it may not be appropriate for me, depending on who I am, what age I am, whatever it might be. But am I comfortable selling it? I know I've been very lucky in the companies I've worked for, we've worked with fantastic products. On the other hand can a good salesperson sell anything? If you're a great communicator, can you sell everything? And look, the real answer to that, it's all about balance. Yes, you need to improve your communication, and I have to say, people with great communication and sales skills tend to be able to change product. They don't get too attached. They remember, one of my personal, big thoughts through my career is that people are the product. In our industry, it's about building people. It's about building something sustainable and long term. And when you're working in a client world, you may have no control over that. I may have no control if the marketplace changes, or for some reason I'm not working with the same product tomorrow that I've been working with today. So perhaps stay flexible, absolutely. But of course, nothing wrong with wanting to work with the best companies too, and obviously that's something that you should be focused on as well. I'm going to give you a few ideas. We can't do your product training via the cycle of development. We don't know what product you're selling, even if we have done it before. There'll be far better people to get that information from. But a couple of tips, no doubt, in this area. Number one would be there's nothing wrong with taking confidence and belief in the product that you sell. Make sure you get educated. Accredited product training really is just the beginning of that process, because at the end of the day, you're not going to learn everything in one session. You're going to learn on the job. You're going to learn while you're talking to customers. Absolutely all of that. So get some confidence and belief. Don't be afraid to do some research. I have to say that there's absolutely nothing wrong with doing research. Get out there, find out what's out there. If you're allowed to, if you want to, of course. Sign up or buy the product that you're selling. Try and go through the customer experience, even if it's not appropriate to buy the product. Quite possibly you can get the client to walk you through that. Sometimes give you that product, whatever the case may be, so you can really get an idea of what it's worth. Do some research, get online, absolutely. Every business in the world, there'll be information out there online, good and bad. When you have hundreds of thousands or millions of customers, there will be good and bad out there. So although I won't take the good or the bad too seriously in its own way, it's good to hear what people are saying, and some of the extreme situations are good or bad that people might talk about online. Although, as I say, maybe perhaps take it with a pinch of salt. That's exactly the case. Do take notes during your training. This might sound a bit silly, but often things make sense when you're in the room and when the trainer's making things sound easy. But your notes will make more sense to you later because you'll have written them in your own way. So perhaps taking your own notes, obviously listening carefully, and thinking about what you might want to know in the future is a good idea when you're writing all that stuff down. It's a good idea also when you're preparing for the testing process for you to actually get accredited, to really have a good look through the entire exam, if you want to say that, before you actually sort of put pen to paper. A lot of the multiple choice accreditations I've done over the years, the answers are very, very close together. They don't make them that easy, of course. So reading through a whole question or a whole section can give you a good understanding perhaps of some of the answers that they are looking for. May sound a bit like a teacher at school saying that, but it's absolutely true. And look, people do fail because they rush. People do fail because they don't read the questions correctly, and it's a bit silly. It's time consuming. Some clients won't let you retake, which makes life complicated, and taking your time over the testing process is a really, really good idea, absolutely. Most importantly, I think, look, get involved. It is true, your trainer, whoever they are, will be a big part of what you learn. But of course, you're the other part. How engaged you are in your product training, how involved you get, and the questions that you ask, will make a big difference. And knowing your product, of course, is going to give you confidence and make you feel good about what you're doing. So I think that's important. It's pretty simple. This is not necessarily going to be the most exciting part of your cycle development, depending on what you're selling, but very important, and no doubt have a big impact on your income, which will impact your confidence, which of course may impact your ability to train people, how quickly you can train people. So although in some cases it hasn't been my most exciting day out, I have to say it's definitely been one of the most important in my career, working with all the different companies that I have. I hope that's a bit useful. Do make an effort with it, and put the effort in. Thanks very much for listening, and we'll speak to you soon. Thanks a lot.